So good day. So this is the continuation of performance evaluation, the second part, wherein we are already on the fourth step, okay, on conducting performance. So what is the fourth step? We have to select the best appraisal methods to accomplish the goals. All right. So in performing performance appraisal, also in evaluating the success of the employee, there are some criteria to be set. Okay, so the three most important criteria for a successful employee is, of course, attendance, the quality of work, and the safety of the employees. These are the ways of describing employee success. Okay, now, prior to developing the actual performance appraisal instrument, there are some important decisions to be made. Okay, so the first decision is to focus on appraisal dimension. There are actually four appraisal dimension, and the first is the trait focused performance dimension. Okay, so this one concentrates on the attributes, on the personality traits of the employees. Let's say, for example, being dependable or dependability, honesty, courtesy, integrity. Okay, so those are the focus performance dimensions. Okay, now the second appraisal dimension is the competency focus performance dimension. Okay, so we already had our lecture about K as AO, K as for knowledge, S for skills, okay, and A for abilities, and O for other characteristics. Now, competency focused performance dimension refers actually to the KSA, the knowledge, the skills, and the abilities. So the third performance dimension is the task focus. So this is more specific on the job description, okay? I mean, job specification, duties, and responsibilities, which are similarly performed by the employees. Okay? And then we have the goal focused performance dimension. Okay, so every company, every businesses, institutions, okay, they have their own visions and missions, goals, and objectives. Okay, so goal focused performance dimensions organize the appraisal on the basis of the goals which are needed to be accomplished by the employee themselves. Okay, now, we have also to take in consideration the contextual performance. So, what is contextual performance? This is an effort of an employee uh, to get along with their peers, okay? Improve the organization, perform tasks that are needed, but are not necessarily an official part of the employee's job description. All right. So it's like dealing with the nature and the environment, and also with the co-workers along the company, and as long as they are doing their jobs as well. That is contextual performance. All right, so you will be able to see from here the different examples from the different performance dimensions. Okay, so since I have already mentioned to you the definitions, here are the examples. So for competency focus, you can have report writing skills, driving skills, okay, public speaking skills, knowledge of the law, decision making skills, and physical ability skills. For task focus, so this is more on the job duties and responsibilities, like for example, crime prevention, arrest procedures, court testimony, use of vehicle, procedures, following rules and regulations. Okay. For the goal focus, so this is more on the objectives, right? So it has to be something that state the goal. Okay, like for example, prevent crimes from occurring, arrest or cite lawbreakers, finish shift without personal injury, okay, have arrest and citation stand up in court, minimize citizen complaints, ensure public safety, okay, and then we have also the trait focus, which is more on the character trait and the personality of the employee themselves. So includes honesty, courtesy, responsibility, dependability, assertiveness, and cooperation. Okay, so from all the performance dimension that has been mentioned and stated here, I guess you already know what is the job of this person having listed all their performance dimension. Okay. Next, the second decision is should dimensions be weighted? Okay, what is the answer to this question? Okay, so the answer is yes, because it makes good philosophical sense, as some dimensions might be more important to an organization than others. So other dimensions should be weighed out based on the priority of the organization, right? All right. So the third dimension is the use of the employee comparisons, objective measures, or rate. Okay? So employee comparisons is being used for performance evaluation to reduce leniency. Okay, so employees can be compared with one another instead of being rated individually on a scale. So you know what? This is some kind of challenging, and also it will create some kind of competency or among the employees because they are gonna be compared, right? Okay, same as with the rank order, which is a method of performance appraisal in which employees are ranked from best to worst. So, another challenging kind of evaluation because, as an employee, you do not want to be marked as or ranked as the worst employee of the year. Okay. So, you should really be doing your job. Okay, so here is included. This one is also included in the third decision. This is the use of the employee comparison, subjective measures, or rating. Okay, so we have here paired comparison. So this is a form of ranking in which a group of employees to be ranked are compared one pair at a time. Okay, so this is some kind of time consuming, especially on a large number of manpower. Okay, so in other words, if you are, let's say, for example, you have number of faculty members in a certain department. So it means every coworker from that department will be matched with you, and you're going to be compared, okay, numerically. Okay, so how will you know the number of comparisons that are going to be made within your department? So this is the formula. Okay, so number of comparisons, wait, yeah, so n will be multiplied by n minus 1, okay, divided by 2. So the N is the number of employees, okay? Let's say, for example, we have 10 employees to compare. So we have here N is equals to 10 multiplied by the the subtracted number from 1 to 10, okay? So it will be divided by 2. So 10 times 9 divided by 2. 10 times 9 equals 90, divided by 2, and then the total number of comparisons is 45. Okay, so later I am going to give you some sample problems, okay, to be solved by using this very easy formula. Okay. Next, we have objective measures. So in common types of objective, this is the objective measures that we have to follow in performing performance appraisal. Okay, so the objective measures have two types. We have the quantity and the quality. In quantity objective measures, we use numerical values. Okay, so this is when we are measuring job performance by counting the number of relevant job behaviors that might occur. Okay, while in quality objective measures, we try to compare job behavior with a specific criterion or standard or basis. Okay, so with that, we use descriptors instead of numerical values. Now, in measuring this, sometimes there might be some errors. Okay, this is a deviation from a standard of quality. Wherein, if we try to process all the data, there might be some processing that would um, con- conclude, or it might result to an incorrect data, okay, or incorrect results. Okay, so it might cause an error. Now, the common method for objectively measuring one aspect of an employee's performance is by looking at the perfect attendance. Sorry. Okay. So in this one, there are three distinct criteria: absenteeism, tardiness, and the tenure of contract. Okay, or the tenure or contract, wherein if is there something that has been violated within the contract, okay, or absenteeism that might result to a wall, or absences without leave, okay, and tardiness, which are actually being recorded as well. Okay. All right. So, for objective measures, one of the most important criteria also, aside from attendance, is the safety of the employees. Okay. So, employees who follow safety rules and who have no occupational accidents do not cost an organization as much money as those who break rules, equipment, and possibly their own bodies. All right. There are some companies or organizations that require really 100% safety of the employees, especially if there are a lot of working hazards, okay, in performing the job. Like for example, if it is a construction company, okay, so that's why they do perform different kinds of orientation, toolbox meeting, okay, regarding the safety of the employee while they are performing the job. Okay. And then we have different ratings of performance. We have the graphic rating scale. So this is a method of performance appraisal that involves rating employee performance on an interval or ratio scale. And then we have behavioral checklist, which is consisted of a list of behaviors, expectations, or results for each dimension. So for this one, we have different kinds of enumerated traits, okay, and behaviors that are needed to perform the job. And then the supervisor might do the performance evaluation by having the checklist done. Okay. Now, an important term that you have to consider also that might happen is contamination. Okay, this is when the criterion score are being affected by the things other than those under the control of employee. So, in other words, there are some extraneous variables that might affect, okay, the criterion score. All right. So let's say, for example, during this pandemic, right? So some of the employees might have this kind of COVID-19 disease. So it could be an extraneous variable that might affect, although it is a valid reason as well. Okay. So that's all. Thank you. But before I end this lecture, actually, there are some prepared exercises, okay, that you are going to do or finish by using the formulas that I have given you a while ago. Okay. So thank you very much and have a nice day, everyone.